Hello everybody, it's Tarun. Welcome to your 14th tutorial in the CSS for Presentation course. In this tutorial, I'll continue with the topic called border color. So without wasting time, let's start. Border colors are specified in the same way using the site specific properties or the border color shorten property. Okay. When you specify a border color, it overrides the foreground color as set by the color property for the element. So I'll just show you the values for the border color shorten property and the different border color properties. Okay, just a second. Okay, so this one is for the shorthand property and these are the different properties for the border color. The values are color name or RGB value, or you can also use transparent as a keyword. The default value is the value of the color property for the element, and it is can be applied to all the elements and it do not inherit. And as you all know about specifying the color values, and you should be getting used to the shorthand properties as well. So I'll keep the example very short and sweet. Now in the example which I'm going to show you, first of all let me just make the example only. Okay, here this is the example. Here I have provided two values for the shorthand border color, okay, which is maroon and aqua, okay, and here you can see it is to make the top and bottom of a maroon, top and bottom of the paragraph maroon, and the left and right sides aqua. Okay, so now let's see what happens in the browser. Let's save. So now let's refresh it. Now you can see that the top and bottom border is maroon and the left and right bottom is border is aqua. Okay, so now this was all about the border color. Now let's combine style, width and color. The authors of CSS didn't skimp when it came to border shortcuts. They also created properties for providing style, width and color values in one declaration, one site at a time. And again you can specify the appearance of specific sites or use the border property to change all the 4 sites at once. So I'll just show you the values now for the property. Okay, so these are the 4 properties: border top, border right, border bottom, border left. The values are border style, border width and border color, and the default value is defaults for each property, and here it is border shorthand property also. The values for border and the site specific border properties may include style, width and color values in any order. You do not need to declare all 3, but keep in mind that if the border style value is omitted, no border will render. The border shorthand property works a bit differently than the other shorthand properties that we have covered, and that it takes one set of values and always applies them to all the 4 sides of the element. In other words, it does not use the clockwise top, right, bottom and left system that we have seen with other shorthand properties. So I'll just show you one example now, okay, which is valid border shortcut examples to get an idea how they work. Okay, so here I have added some style for the left of H1, which is color red 0.5 and then solid. Okay, the red is the border color, 0.5 is the width and the type is solid. So now let's save it and run it in the browser. Okay, here you can see that the left border color is red, okay, and it is 0.5 em and it is solid. Okay, and now let's move forward to the next topic, which is rounded corners with border radius. Boxes with rounded corners have become a trendy style element over recent years, Originally, rounded corners on web pages could only be made with images and extra markup, but now thankfully all the current browser versions can put rounded corners on elements using the CSS border radius property. Okay, that means that fewer calls to the server to grab graphics and less Photoshop work for designers. In this section, we'll start with the code as it appears in the CSS3 specification. We'll look at some examples and then finish with a few words about the browser support. Okay. So as we have seen for other properties, there are individual corner properties as well as a border radius shorthand. Okay. So I'll just show you the values of that property first. Okay, the value, the property is border top left radius, border top right radius, border bottom right radius, border bottom left radius. Okay, the values are length, measurement or percentage, and the default value is 0 and it can be applied to all the elements. And similarly, it is for shorthand border radius property. Okay. To round off the corner of an element, simply apply one of the border radius properties, but keep in mind that you'll see the result only if the element has a border or a different background color than the background of the page. Values are typically provided in EMS or pixels. Percentage are allowed but and are nice for keeping the curve proportional to the box, and in some browser it can cause some inconsistencies. You can target the corners individually or use the shorthand border radius property. If you provide one value for border radius, it is applied to all the 4 corners. 4 values are applied clockwise, starting in the top left corner, then top right, then bottom left. When you apply 2 values, the first one is used for top left and bottom right, and the second is for the other 2 corners. Okay, so I'll just show you one figure which where we'll compare the various border radius values for some boxes. Okay, so I'll just show you the figure now. So here you can see I have applied border rounding to a paragraph which is having width 200 pixel and height 100 pixel, and background is dark orange. Okay, so here I have applied the border top right radius at 50 pixel. Okay, so you can see here it is curved, and now I have applied it to the all of 4. Okay, which is 1 to the top left and bottom right, and 2 to the top right and bottom left. Then I have applied here border radius for all the 4 with 4 different values according to the pixel values. Then I have applied border radius 1 em, which makes the border radius 1 em at each and every corner. Then I have applied border radius 50 pixel, which makes the border 50 pixel on each and every corner. So now we'll move forward by explaining you can say I'll explain the different corners now. So the first type of corners is elliptical corners. So far the corners we have made are sections of perfect circles, but you can also make a corner elliptical by specifying 2 values. The first for the horizontal radius and the second for the vertical radius. Okay, so how you can do that? You can do it by assigning some values like this. I'll just show you. Okay, so here you can define it top right radius as 100 pixel and 50 pixel, which is horizontal and vertical radius. Then for the top left you can also apply 50 pixel and 20 pixel. If you want to use the shorthand property, the horizontal and vertical radius get separated by a slash. Otherwise they can make the user confused. The next example which I am going to show you sets the horizontal radius on all corners to 60 pixel and the vertical radius to 40 pixel. Okay, so I'll just show you the figure, not the figure, the example. Okay, so this is how you can use the shorthand property to assign elliptical corners. And if you want to see something really nutty, okay, you can look at the border radius shorten property that specifies a different ellipse for each of the four corners. All of the horizontal values are lined up on the left of the slash and in clockwise order, which is top left, top right, bottom right, then bottom left, and all of the corresponding vertical values are lined up on the right. Okay, so I'll just show you one example of that also. Okay, so this is one example of that thing which I was talking about. So now let's talk about the browser support for such things. As I mentioned earlier, the current versions of all major browsers now support border radius, which is using the CSS3 specification syntax. Okay, which is a good news. The longer story is that earlier versions of Safari, Chrome and Firefox have been supporting rounded corners for a while now, but they had their own syntax with browser prefixes. Okay, and then there is Internet Explorer, which has no border radius support at all prior to the version 9. So what to do about Internet Explorer 6 through 8? And the chances are that the success and usability of your site does not depend on rounded corners. So this is a good opportunity to practice progressive enhancement. Internet Explorer gets perfectly okay square boxes, and better browsers get a little something extra. If for some reason it is mandatory for your boxes to be rounded in older versions of Internet Explorer as well, you need to resort to a JavaScript patch which is curvy corners. Okay, so now let's move forward to the next topic, which is picture perfect borders. Now we have done a long discussion about CSS borders. Okay, and who knew that there would be so much to see about the borders? Okay, and now I have saved the trickiest border treatment for the last. In this section, we'll look at using the border image property to fill the sides and corners of a border box with an image of your choice. This property eliminates the need to cut up separate image files and add a bunch of useless markup to contain them. Now a single image can be applied around an element using CSS. It should be noted that no version of Internet Explorer, which is 9 or 10, may support border images. So the best you can do is provide a pleasant and functional fallback color and border style. The browsers that do support browser images are Safari, Chrome, Firefox and Opera, and they require their respective vendor prefixes to get them to work. Okay, so I'll just show you the border image property and its value now. Okay, so the value for border image property are border image source, border image slice, border image width, border image outside and border image repeat. Okay, the default value is defaults for each property, and it applies to all the elements except table elements where border collapse is collapse. Okay, so I'll give you idea of what I'm talking about with a figure. Okay, so first of all, let's see the figure now. So now let's see it visually. Okay, by the help of with this visualization, I'll give you idea what I'm talking about. So this figure shows two elements and the respective images used to fill their borders. Notice that the corner of the images fill the corners of the element exactly. The sides of the element can be set to stretch, okay, which is as shown in the top, or the tile in the bottom. Okay, so now let's see the code of this. The figure which I have shown you. Okay, I'll just show you the code for that. Okay, the code will look like this. Okay, so here the border image property has been divided into three parts. The first one is the URL notation, which contains the location of the border image file. The next value, which is these four values with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, and it indicates the position of the slice lines that divide the image into 9 sections. Okay, The measurements are offsets from each edge to the image listed clockwise, which is top, right, bottom, and then left. Okay, value shortcuts can be used, such as providing one value to move the slice line the same distance from all four edges. The final keyword here is this describes how to fill in the sides of the border. The values are stretch, repeat, round. Okay, the stretch stretches the image to fit naturally. Repeat, which tiles the images, and round, which repeats the image but stretches or you can say squishes it a little to make it fit exactly without any partial bits left over. Okay, the round value is may not be supported currently by the Safari or Chrome. I have not checked it yet. Okay, you can go ahead and check it in your web page that it do work or not. Repeat is used instead, although that may change in future versions. Okay, so I'll just show you one style look that creates the fancy frame border image. Okay, so I'll just show you the example now. So I have applied background color bright yellow orange, border color also bright yellow orange, border style solid. Okay, and then border width 55 pixels, and then this is the border image property where the image I am going to use is, let's say, best, which is there earlier .jpg, then 55 and then stretch. So now let's see what happens in the browser. Okay, you can see that the image is surrounding the browser, was not the browser, the content of the paragraph. Okay, the source of the border image is the best.jpg image because the slide points are on the same on all four sides, which is 55 pixels. I only need to specify the value 55 once. Finally, the stretch keyword indicates that the side of the box are to be filled by stretching the sides of the graphic. As a fallback, I specified the background color and background color to be the same bright yellow orange from the center of the border image. Internet Explorer images will get a box of the same size and color but without the frame image. Okay, so now let's just play with it. So what if I change the value of stretch to, let's say, repeat first. So now let's see what happens. Okay, you can see the image is now repeated. Okay, now let's see what happens when I change it to round. Okay, you can see that the two images are now there. Okay, so this was all about the border image property, and in the next tutorial I'll start with margins. So this was all about border images in this tutorial, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.